is where the Holy Trinity Cathedral is. Outside of Woodford Square, you have a National Heritage Building, the Holy Trinity Cathedral, and that is the heart of our city. This building in 2017 was severely impacted by the earthquake. Pinnacle fell off and fell through the roof. The eastern wall came apart and has now been raised up. It's a limestone building and it can't breathe, so the plaster is breaking off. All that has to be chipped off. And right now it's not usable, it's unsafe for use. So through this kind of initiative, it's a $17 million project to get this National Heritage Building back up and running. The first phase, the government thankfully has helped, a $20 million donation.
I want to thank you all on behalf of the Incorporated Trustees of the Angican Diocese for your support in this venture. A lot of people didn't understand or didn't realize what the situation was. Christopher described a little bit about what has happened to this grand Quality 1 heritage building, which is almost 200 years old, right? Which was built with limestone from the Laventille Hills in combination with timbers and slate from the UK. So it's a rare combination that's part of our heritage that went into this building. And this building has always been a nexus for a number of key national events. As recently as, up to 2017, before the earthquake, for instance, at the opening of the law term, that is the building that will be used. But the earthquake really did a number on it. It was a number of things happening at the same time. We've had situations with the roofing materials collapsing, and if you look at some of the more recent pictures, you see trees in the structure of the building. We have been working for a number of years to get the government assistance in helping us to start to refurbish this building. Finally, they agreed. Finally, we worked out what the arrangement would be, and a contract has been given out for what we call the emergency structural work. That is the work that is required so the building doesn't collapse on the people in the street below. And that is what the government has undertaken to do in terms of the structure and the roof. But there's a lot more to be done, as you can imagine, to the rest of the building in terms of the internal work, the mechanical, the electrical, all those things have to be done as well. And in a way, we have to do them in a sequence that is not too far away from the structural work. So we are in a time crunch because the structural work has started. We did some preliminary work, like for instance, we have a very unique organ, and that organ had to be removed very carefully and stored very carefully in refrigerated containers on the site. So we spent the last couple of years doing that kind of work, taking down the organ, storing it. We took down some stained glass windows, which when we asked what is the cost, they say it's priceless. They don't make those kind of stained glass windows again, but we were able to take them down. Some of them were actually so aged and so badly treated that you had to very carefully brace them, take them down, re-solder them, and really fix them up. And that has now been stored for when the cathedral is restored. So that we really appreciate the generous offers and the generous donations of the public, because the $20 million that the government has indicated that it will assist us with is just for the structure, so the structure doesn't fall down and for the roofing. But we have a lot more work to do to bring this building back to a usable state, still with its historic, pristine look, but at the same time, modern. And if anybody has ever gone to any country, they see some of their stage A, what I call first-class heritage buildings. They keep that heritage look, but they're modern in terms of how they function. You know, that's up to this year I was at the London dockyards looking at some buildings that were there since the 1700s, right? And that's what they managed to do, and that's what we want to do with Trinity Cathedral. So that we really appreciate, you start to see more and more work happening. Some people wondering what is happening, but there was work being done to take down stuff from the inside first, because we had to clear out the inside. A lot of artifacts had to be taken down, carefully stored and preserved. And then we had to make sure it was there. So when the contractor comes in, they're moving in. So they are in there now. They have done their additional condition survey, because as you can imagine, the condition now from when they first did their bid has changed, not to the better. Things don't get better like that. So that they've started to do their work, and you'll see more and more work. If you pass them, I see some of the scaffolding going up, and you see some of the hoarding going up. But they've started that work, and it's about an 18-month project that they have said that they want to do it in. And within that 18 months, we want to also be ready to do our work on the inside and all the other work that has to be done, so that by the time they come out, it won't be too long again before we have a building available. So any kind of assistance that can be given, and we thank you so much for this kind of effort, it is very much appreciated. We are continuing to work in the diocese. All the parishes are on alert and are working towards this as an aim. This is very important, not just for the Angican diocese, but for the country, we believe, because this is a national monument. And I just want to thank you again for your contribution and for your continued contribution to the enhancement of this national treasure. Thank you very much.